Parenting is the hardest job, and there is not a close second. Raising high-performing teen athletes or performers? That's a high-stakes job. I'm Nate Crandall, joined by fellow certified high-performance coach Steve Galley. We coach ambitious parents like you, and also your high-performing teens, because when you both level up, connection and results don't just improve, they multiply. Welcome to the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast. We have some burning questions for you.
If your teen could rate how safe it feels to be imperfect around you, what would the number be?
Well, that's a really fun question to explore and be
fun.
Oh yeah, fun. Fun for sure.
So it's fun to be uncomfortable then.
Yes, and adding a number to it makes it even better because then it becomes something that's trackable. It's almost like a data point that we can do something with. But I think it's fun exploring that idea. How safe does my teen feel to be imperfect around me? Because they're so aware of their own flaws. Like teens have this really high understanding of the things they screw up, especially in the context of parents. They know what our expectations are. They've lived with us for X number of years. And so they have a really high conceptualization of those expectations. And so for them to feel safe being imperfect, this is a hugely important topic. And I love assigning a number to it.
2, 10,
Ooh,
8.
Well, I don't have any more teens. I think now they'd be a lot better, but I've gotten better, especially with this stuff over the last 4 or 5 years. So I would hope I would be in like the 7 or 8 range.
Yeah.
That's how I avoided saying 6 or 7, but
right.
7 or 8 range.
So what we're really talking about here, Nate, are blind spots.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we're really getting at is,
I just checked my left blind spot.
Good job.
If you're on audio, you didn't see it, obviously.
Well, Steve, that's you sliding back into previous roles. Check the blinds. Yeah. Check the blind spots. Yeah. It's important to check our blind spots, though, isn't it? Like you preach that for years.
You better still be doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Even with your sensors on your cars that tell you everything, and checking your blind spots is critical.
In the context of parenting and stopping parenting and being more like a coach, where are we going to go with this blind spot thing?
Well, I want to go. Can I get on the nerd timer? I know.
Okay, nerd timer. What do you need?
Okay.
60 seconds, 45?
If you give me 30 to 60 seconds. I know it's a little bit of a big window, but I want to talk about something called Johari's window. We on?
It's rolling.
Okay. Sorry. I just wasted my nerd timer. Okay. Johari's window is something that's used in like business leadership context. And it basically creates one of those quadrant things where you're comparing what you know about yourself and what you don't know about yourself on one axis. And then on the other one, it's what other people know about you and what other people don't know about you. In the box that would match up what you don't know about yourself, but what others do know about you, that's a blind spot. And it gets very much at this idea of how safe our teens feel to be imperfect around us because they're aware of some of these things, but it's our blind spots that create that feeling of, or a lack of feeling of safety to be imperfect around us. We can think we're doing a great job creating it, but they don't perceive it that way, which makes it a blind spot. Did I stay on time, even with my late start?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
So,
Okay,
so before we go further on this whole topic of blind spots, and maybe this is myself thinking back to parenting teens. If our teens know and notice things that we don't, and they create particular feelings of unsafety in our teens, that might be hard for a parent to admit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, well, wait a minute. What things do my teens know and notice about me that I don't? Is that even possible? That's not possible. I'm a high achieving person. I'm a go-getter.
And you're good.
I love my kids. I love my kids. I'm trying to do all these things. And you're telling me I still have blind spots.
What do we say all the time on here, Steve? Parenting is the hardest job, and there's not a close second. And this is why. We have these huge blind spots, and we think we're doing so good, and we are doing so good. There's so much evidence. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm working hard. I'm providing for them. I love them so much. But in the relationship, it's the blind spots that get us.
Well, you know, Coach Crandall, we are right in the middle of football playoffs time.
Yes.
Well, we're in the college football playoff. The NFL playoffs still loom.
Coming up
soon. In fact,
Playoffs.
when this episode eventually airs, we may be in playoff territory. But Coach Jim Mora, old coach with the Saints and with the Colts and his famous playoffs.
Playoffs?
Well, he had another soundbite that I just found hilarious. He was in a press conference situation, and he said something along the lines of, "You think you know, but you don't know." And so I'm sitting here thinking of myself as a parent. I think I know.
Yes.
But I don't know. Speaking of blind spots.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's so challenging because we have to think for ourselves, and then we have to learn to think how our teens think, and learning to think how a teen thinks is really hard because they're all over the place.
They are.
And so it becomes really challenging to anticipate some of these. Yeah, like it's human relations are insanely complex, and then the parent-teen relationship is obviously incredibly complex. But I think what I want to do is I would love to help our parents just get some information that will help them evaluate some of these things and maybe find some of their own blind spots. Because if you can find them and identify them, then that allows you to start working, and your teen notices that, and they'll really appreciate it.
Well, let's look at a couple of examples then.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to give you a line, and then
Okay.
I'm confident that you can go somewhere with this. Oh, you know, one of my favorite words is assumption. So here we go. The
Bring
words,
on the assumptions.
Well, I think the word success, which, and you know as well as I do, we're big on people creating their own definition of success rather than just following society's scoreboard. But
for sure.
The success can breed a dangerous assumption in the respect that we sometimes think that what has made me successful or what has worked for me works everywhere.
Yeah.
And
so easy to fall into that.
For example, like take a dad who has built a company, might even be a type A personality, and he has built all of this success. It's been founded on very blunt feedback. I'm talking about the people that are like, hey, this is business, right? And they draw very hard lines, and they separate it from other relationships. And so they assume that their teen needs the same. So that blunt feedback dad is going to say, well, hey, even you and Nate say this, all progress starts with the truth. I'm just being honest. But the teen hears, whoa, I'm not enough.
Yeah. Yep. And like just being aware of that, hearing things from their perspective helps so much. Because we can be great at what we do. Like this is a dad you're talking about here who's worked so hard to build such a great empire or company or whatever has been built here. And that blunt feedback's essential. And all progress does start with the truth. That's 100% true. And so a dad being honest is a good thing. But what's the message the teen's getting? And this is that blind spot understanding. Is blind spot might be they know how they feel, but we don't know how they feel. And that's tough.
It is. Because for this person, this dad, high achievement, it's rewarded by urgency, super high standards, and let's face it, a lot of control.
Yeah.
His control of that company has helped it to grow and flourish. But parenting teens, coaching your teens, is it different?
Yeah, very. Because it's more about feelings. Building a business is more about building a business. It's data driven. It's market based. It's like you can research, you can do that. But the teen and the relationship there is about the feeling and the heart. And that's the most important thing there. It's not the data, it's the heart.
Right. And that would be very challenging for that dad, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is challenging for that dad. Because when you're talking blunt feedback, he's in the facts, not feelings camp.
Yep. And he's doing a great job. Like he's just doing what got him successful in another area.
Let's take another example, a mom who is married to the hustle and assumes that her son or daughter needs more reps.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what she's pushing. Yet the teen, the whole issue might be something in his relationship with his sport coach, or it may be just a confidence issue. Yeah. It's not a matter of, okay, you need to go put in another 100 reps or whatever at the gym. And that's a blind spot.
Yes.
For that mom. But she doesn't know. You think you know, but you don't know.
But you don't know. And it's like, we're just, as parents, we just go to what we know works for us. Like that's the easiest thing to default to. This worked for me. This is how I built my success. If you could just do this, then it would help. But that worked in your situation. What's their situation? Because it's different than yours.
Yeah. Definitely different than yours. Okay, Nate, I've got a final example. One is take a parent who is elite at negotiating. So I'm going to say attorney. I'm the son of an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And so negotiation, obviously a huge part of, I would say, anywhere in the field of law, negotiation comes in. And so I'm going to try not to laugh here, because between you and I and all the years that we spent on the sidelines as high school coaches, this is going to hit home. So you have a parent who's elite at negotiating and believes that the solution to whatever perceived problem there is a meeting with the coach, because that's what he or she is used to.
Bring the parties together, work it out.
Bring the parties together. We sit down, we negotiate, we talk it out. In sport, though, we believe in following your coach's communication policy. And we've done episodes on what we feel are good communication policies between parent and coach. But this dad or this mom who is an attorney is feeling that this is the solution because that's what works in business for them. And yet in sport, this can backfire ingloriously, both socially and politically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not your situation. And just understanding all these things from perspectives, that we get so locked in on our view that we don't see how somebody else might see it and what else might be going on. We don't understand our team's perception of that. The coach, like you said, in this situation, it's like they have their policy, and if we don't follow that policy, then it might have some ramifications.
Absolutely. Yeah. What questions do you have for the parents?
Well, these are just a few questions that I love as a way of getting a parent thinking more perspective. So first question, what's the motivation for your correction or conversation with your teen? If you're going to correct them, if you're going to have a conversation, what's the motivation behind why you're doing it? Again, clarity is something we talk about a lot. Bringing clarity to it. Why do I want to correct? Why do I want to have this conversation? And then that'll shape where you go with it. Another question. What message is your correction or commentary sending to your athlete or performer? Jumping to their perspective and say, okay, if I say this, if I correct this, what message am I sending? Third one, what's the story you tell yourself when they underperform? I'm watching my kid. They're not performing up to standards. How am I explaining it? What's the story I'm telling myself? Because that's going to guide my decisions. And if I'm unaware of the story I'm telling myself, I might not make great decisions to help my teen out. So those are three that a parent can just think about, ponder, and just start doing a little blind spot investigation. Check your blind spots, right?
Check your blind spot, because you think you know but you may not know.
Nate Crandall and Steve Galley would like to thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you love what you're experiencing and learning from the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast, please like, comment, and or leave a glowing review of this episode and the show. And to further help Nate and Steve expand their reach and impact thousands of parents, athletes, and performers, please share the show and subscribe to the Stop Parenting and Start Coaching podcast channel on YouTube. And if you want to explore further to see what Nate and Steve are creating to help parents of athletes and performers everywhere, please visit their website at createtransformbecome.com. That's createtransformbecome, all one word, .com. There you will find a growing number of tools and resources to help you elevate your parenting. Thanks again for tuning in. Now go create a magical relationship with your athlete or performer.